I'm out of here, So I walked across the street to the recruiting office and said, hey, I want to join the Army. And every recruiter in there, I remember it, all three of them looked up from their desk and stared at me. And they're like, what?
Heart palpitations and stuff.
Yep. I took one little sip and then and I'm just sitting on the couch. I'm like,
hey, Dad, should we do this? No.
Completely snapped off my rear axle except for the lower control arm.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Your Daily Dose Podcast, presented to you by R&R. As always, I'm Logan.
I'm Ethan, and today we are accompanied by a guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Ben.
So, this is going to be a little bit of a different podcast, just to kind of get going with it. Ben is...
Just get it so you got to lean in so much.
He has to always mess with the mics. He's got to have something to do with his hands.
There's this thing. It's called... autism?
I was going to say OCD.
Both, actually.
It's both. It's 100% both. And it's I used to joke about it, but I'm pretty sure it's a legitimate thing. Just self-diagnosed. I also need this too, so I'm not waiting.
But so just to give you guys a little bit of a backstory between me and Ben. Him and I were stationed down in El Paso together after I got back from Iraq. We spent almost an embarrassing amount of time together in those 2 years. It was roughly 2 years, right?
Yep.
About.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got all kinds of stuff. But before we get into it too much, we always kind of try to start it off by get you a hat.
Thanks, man.
Well, so you can be part of the group now.
Perfect.
But yeah, you can throw that on if you want. You don't have to, but looks better for the optics if everybody's wearing a hat,
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
Cover up the bald spot.
I was going to say something, but I wasn't going to say something because I have no room to talk. Because, it's like, hey, man, if you want to go ahead and throw that on. The glare is hitting the camera real bad.
If you want to go ahead and cut your tag off, you can use that if you want. It's one of our sponsors of the channel now.
The dog is barking. The wife's yelling. This is just a show, though.
But that's one of our artisan cutlery or CJRB knives. If you guys are interested, they're down the links below. But thanks for being on the podcast.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
This is nice.
Yeah, it might be locked. It might not be. I can't remember. But yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
But you can use that to cut the tag off your hat if you want. Oh, you already got it?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Screw me, I guess.
I got the big head problem.
Same.
Yeah, most people just curl their hats normal. I gotta just barely fold the edges so it shapes to the head right.
Hell yeah, looks good on you. But yeah, is there any intro you want to give yourself? Anything you want to talk about, Ben?
Well, just for context, still actively serving in the Army. Been infantry a little over 16 years. Been around the world twice, as I tell people. Been through Europe, the Middle East, Asia, all around the United States. We were actually probably close to time in service when we met.
Yeah, you actually were a cycle before me in 254.
Oh, that's right. We went to the same.
Because literally Drill Sergeant Jackson, you came in and had to talk to him when you were doing airborne school about something. Because I remembered seeing you. I'm like, oh, I wonder who that guy is. Well, but
spoiler alert.
Yeah. So we actually were in the same exact unit in basic, I guess, and the same drill sergeants. Because it was Jackson and then who's the tall Hispanic dude?
To my drill sergeant Plant?
No, he wasn't.
Macias.
Maybe it might have been him. I can't remember which one it was. Jackson was the one that was mainly there. He's our senior drill. But
would he have known, or possibly have known Jared around
there's a chance
around that same time down in Texas.
The guys that over at the Higher Caliber podcast that we were on a couple weeks ago. Jared, he was stationed down in El Paso,
like the exact same time.
He was in 3-1 from 20. Well, I think it was right around 2010 to 2013 or 2014.
Something like that, yeah.
It's the exact same times I was down
there.
But
he was talking about bars and clubs and dances
he
and all
goes
stuff.
A little bit. He used to go to a little bit and stuff all the time. I'm like, we had to have met at some point in time.
Surprisingly, I don't miss those days of just the going to the bar, same bar every weekend, in the same crowd. And, while I can look back and laugh and say, yeah, I had a good time. Now that I'm older, I'm like, yeah, I'll just stay home and grill some burgers, man.
I hate people now.
I don't like going out. If I don't know you, I probably don't want to.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, so Ben, he went to, basic down the same place I did. Then after airborne school, you went to another duty station and then ended up getting transferred to Fort Bliss with me after it was all said and done. But
Yep. Yeah, I was at Fort Bragg for a while the first time. South Korea, Fort Bliss, back to Fort Bragg, back to Fort Benning, Fort Riley, and then I just left there a little over a year ago to do what I'm doing now. So,
and I mean, just to give you guys a little bit more of a backstory. So Ben and I were really close friends. He was close with me and my wife.
You said were.
Do what?
You said were. That's wild. Awkward.
What?
You said were. That was a joke.
I'm not tracking what's going on.
You
I
said
guess.
me and Ben were really close friends.
Well, we were. I mean, like at one point in time, like literally, like I'm not kidding when I say this. It would be we'd go to Little Bit on Friday night, stay there until 2:00 in the morning. I'd go drop them off because I was always the DD. Drop them off at the barracks, go to my apartment, go back to sleep, wake up, go to the barracks at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock the next day. Be kicking doors in, trying to hey, wake up, let's go, we're racing the day.
you said we're going to shoot, we're going.
I want to hear that you're hungover. You did that to yourself. And then literally we would hang out Saturday night. We'd go off road, and after we got done shooting until 2, 3, 4 in the morning in red sands, then we'd rinse and
like
repeat.
shooting as in like just mess around or like training,
No, we go out
training
there,
wise.
we go out there and run a lot of drills.
Yeah.
Actually,
Well, I'm saying like just you two or like an act or every.
well, no, it was me, him, and there's 2 other guys that kind of
Okay.
always went with us, and then eventually a third.
So it was
guy.
more like an extracurricular type stuff for you guys, like getting out there and doing
We'd
stuff.
actually go out and do big boy rules and just when we shot way more than we probably should have.
Yeah.
But that's what you can do when you don't have kids and no responsibilities yet. You can buy ammo.
Oh, you were using your own ammo.
Yes.
Oh, so this was like your guys' personal time.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like you were like on base or whatever,
No.
and you were going out and doing your own thing or whatever. Like
No.
that. Okay.
Nope.
I
This was
gotcha.
our own personal firearms. We used to go out to a place called the Pit. It was like a big.
Of the pictures you showed me, that like
Yeah.
all the like
Yep.
the pit looking thing.
Yes.
I'm assuming that's why it's called the pit.
But yeah, so I mean, it's me and saying this, we were stationed together. We spent all kinds of time together. When I went to get out in the Army, my wife brought down her friend to kind of help because she drove down. So she brought her friend with her, best friend from school, and right when they got out of school, and Ben and her ended up hitting it off. They got married, and now our paths have crossed where Ben lives in the same area that we do now.
She actually lives in a house that I was going to buy.
Yeah. I think that was the first time I met you. We were talking about it.
Yeah, we were at his house. We were talking about it,
Yeah.
and you were like, on so and so, and I was like, it has this, and the downstairs. You're like, yeah. I was like, I was gonna buy that house. Yeah, we looked at that house, and then I think like the next day we looked at this house, and we ended up going with this house. No, I like that. I like that house though. That basement, I love that basement,
It's nice and stays cool
and,
too.
and it's real long and stuff too. You do a lot of room for activities down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I was gonna ask you a question when you were saying you went from like or when you were saying you were going from like here to here to here to here. I'm assuming that's not by choice, or is that kind of like by choice?
No, you're right. So we get orders, and then the
Yeah.
Army tells you where you're going to go and what you're going to do.
And I mean, unless something's changed, the only time he could probably actually decide where he goes if he re-enlists, you'd be like, I want to go to this duty station, or else I'm not going to re-enlist. Am I
So,
wrong?
so if you get your orders or whatever, and you're going, say you go from Bliss to Bragg to whatever else, is that for like a certain job, or can you not do that job or those orders at that base? Is that just not a
it's
possibility?
usually as the Army needs. Like, so if they need a certain amount of E6s at this base for this job,
makes sense.
that's where you're going to get stationed. I mean, I can,
No, yeah,
I can be
you're on
wrong.
it. Yeah, it kind of depends on like what grade you're in and what you're qualified to do. So when I left Fort Bliss, I was already airborne qualified because I went right after basic.
By
And
grade,
then-
do you mean like rank? Or is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was already airborne qualified, and Fort Bragg is always hiring the 82nd. So it was really easy for me to go there. I wanted to anyway.
Airborne is that when you get, is that what they call the wings or whatever? Like when you get your airborne patch? Is that what- or the-
Airborne's considered like a specialty or a specialty infantry unit. So you've got like the 10th Mountain, 82nd, 101st,
That's not like, that's not paratrooper, is it?
Yeah, no, that's exactly
Oh, that
what
is
it is.
paratrooper? Oh,
Yeah.
so, okay.
So there's like specialized infantry, and they're like, because 82nd's what? The World Reactionary Force?
Yeah, they change it every couple of years. It was like Global Response Force when I was there. I think it's like the IRF or IRG now.
But pretty much it
Immediate
means that
Response Forces, I don't know.
it means if a country wants to pop off, the 82nd can be there with full force within what?
18 to 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a world quick reaction force.
Pretty much. Yeah, there's like
Okay.
pathfinders and stuff. They can jump in and set up airstrips for planes to come in. And
When is the last time we jumped into war?
Iraq, the beginning
oh,
of
we
Iraq.
did? Oh, okay.
And nobody wants to count that one.
Yeah, well,
I
they
didn't know
better.
that.
Yeah, it was in 2003.
It was pretty early.
Yeah, it was like, the 82nd, I believe, actually. It was the 173rd or the 82nd?
It was a lot of Ranger guys, and I think it was the 173rd.
Okay.
But you see them around. So we call it a mustard stain. If you get a combat jump, it's a little star like on the risers of your parachutist badge, and they're not common. But everybody wants to discredit that the combat jump is what they call it because you actually jumped in because the airfield was secure and there was no threat. And if you just want to go off technicalities, well, it was an active war zone. And they jumped in.
I was just going to say, like, if it's an active war, there's a war going on. I'm sure there's some kind of threat. Even if
there's
it's
always a threat.
0.001%, it's going to be some kind of threat,
Yeah.
no matter what.
Yeah, and that's all the time. I mean, you were over there too. I think we were around. I was in Baghdad most of the time.
I was up in Bosmaya,
Okay.
Fob Hammer.
Yeah, and it was,
Is that a base?
It's a FOB, forward observation base.
Okay, fob.
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, it was relatively quiet when I was over there, at least where I was. We had other guys from our unit clearing through Mosul with the Iraqi army.
Okay.
So that what got accomplished while we were there is the liberation of Mosul.
Nice.
Yeah.
I guess
On the 14th time? The 7th or 8th time?
We'll do it again.
We'll be back.
I was just going to say before we actually get into some like stories and meat potatoes, like, do you want to kind of say like childhood, grow up, play sport? I mean, do you want to do anything like that, or you just want
sure.
to get in? I mean, it's up to you. If you want to, or do you just want to get right into the meat potatoes? Because I have a question for you probably later on.
Okay. Well, yeah. Yeah.
You want him to answer? Or you want me? Because I know all this too.
Well, this one I kind of already had
kidding.
yours. No, I'm saying I kind of already had yours. I want to see his. I want to see his recollection of the story.
You just got to make sure you add in how we first met.
I'll never forget.
But yeah, I mean, if you want to, like I said, just some background information, just so people, I mean, all 27 people who want to know who you are and, stuff like that.
Yeah. So born in Minnesota, pretty much grew up in Ohio.
We're at Minnesota.
I think I say St. Paul because it's easier to spell than Minneapolis.
Okay. So you're up in the Twin Cities.
Yeah,
Okay.
Twin Cities area. Moved to Ohio when I was 5. Have a brother and a half sister. Normal childhood, moved around Ohio a couple times. We lived by Akron, then by Cincinnati, then just north of Columbus until I got married, and then we pretty much come up here.
I'd say, yeah, because where you graduated from high school, it's only like 30 minutes away from here.
Yeah, so
Maybe
our high school, we
45
played in the
minutes.
same high schools, but just not each other.
Yeah.
Wrestled a lot. Started wrestling in middle school and did that. Got into year round by the time I was in high school. Loved it. I like the team aspect. I like the individual aspect. Have a lot family history of military service too.
Okay.
2 uncles in the Army, one that was Marine, grandfather that was in the Army too. So kind of always thought about it. Growing up, went to college for like a year and a half out of high school. Never really felt like I belonged there. Just was trying to make people happy, make your parents happy. And then I kind of just decided one day, yeah, this sucks. Like, I'm out of here, So I walked across the street to the recruiting office and said, hey, I want to join the Army. And every recruiter in there, I remember it, all 3 of them like looked up from their desk and stared at me. They're like, what? I was like, yeah, college sucks, like, I want to join the Army.
We normally don't get these walk-ins ones. These ones we normally have to try for them.
I think they jumped up and raced to shake my hand first.
Do they get, I mean, I don't know if this is a thing, but do they get like a commission or something? Or like, do they get like, was it the first one to try to get to you first or?
It's not commission. They just have like a quota.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
for a year that they're trying to get so many people.
Did they try to talk you out of doing infantry?
Kind of. So
Because when I went and took my ASVAB and got my GT score, they're like, yeah, we're not going to sign you up for infantry. I was like, well, I'm not signing up for the Army then. That's literally the one thing I want to do.
they pushed two kind of crazy things. So I was qualified for EOD, which is a long pipeline, a lot of school training.
Yep.
That's the demolition, right?
Yeah,
Explosive
explosive.
Yeah,
ordnance.
explosive. Yeah.
That's why they tried to get me to do EOD because I was colorblind, and they're like, "Yeah, you can't be infantry." I was like, "But you
want me to
be
cut wires?"
EOD? Cut the green one."
They're all green. I don't know what to do.
So don't worry, I got a waiver for that. But
I almost jumped on it until they told me that it's a lot of classroom work And I'm like,
You're like,
I'm,
I just left college.
I literally walked in and said, college sucks. Like, I want to join the Army, and you try and send me to more school, I'm out of here. No, and then ironically, the band. Like, do you ever play an instrument? I was like, yeah, I played saxophone for like 3 or 4 years.
Nice.
Can you still play? I'm like, I guess. I'm like, I don't want to. Man, I could put you in the band. That would be your job.
Army has a band.
Yeah.
The Army has a band.
Yeah.
Like are they the ones that goes to the games and stuff like that, or is it just
All
like
kinds of stuff.
Really?
They play at like the White House and shit a lot, and like
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
actually,
cool.
like every installation, I think, at least active duty installation, has their own like band, or like the 82nd. They even have a choir that they'll go sing and they'll do stuff. They have like a rock band section, which is always kind of cool. Like you get paid to play guitar. Okay,
Yeah.
But yeah, I was absolutely. I was like, no, I'm out of here. And then yeah, they asked me if I knew what the 3 Bs were, and I liked them. I was like, well, yeah.
What are 3 Bs?
So beer, barbecue, and I'll let your mind run on the last one to keep it PG.
female dogs.
Yeah, female people. And I was like, yes, I was like almost 20-year-old kid.
Of course I do.
I was like, yeah,
you're like, I can get paid to do that?
a red-blooded American.
Yeah.
He's like, you like doing stuff outside? I was like, more than the classroom. And so it made sense for me. They're like, yeah, you're gonna like it. You're gonna have a good time, and I have. That's the reason I stayed. It's only 2 pieces of paper, in case you didn't know, to stay in the Army, but probably about 100 if you want to get out. So
That makes sense.
keep getting paid, keep traveling. It's taking care of my wife and kids too. So
Because you're what, like, you're coming up on 20, right? Or
yeah,
you are?
I'm like 16, almost 16 and a half right
16.
now.
Okay. I don't know if you said that or not.
Yeah, I'm close to the end of the ride. I'll hit my 20, and then I'll have to be an adult again. And
So 20 is like, that's when you can get
Full benefits.
yeah, like you're
retirement.
retired. Okay, yeah. All right.
yeah, for active duty. I know
He'll
the
probably stick
guard's
around
different.
longer. I'm pretty sure.
Now, is there anything that you can do, because without getting into detail, you go out of state for it after you're done with that? You'll be doing that for the next 3.5 years, correct? Mm-hmm. After you're done with that, is there anything that you can do here, or no?
Yeah, I'd have to look. I know. Was it Red Horse?
Yeah, Red Horse out here at the base.
Yeah, I know they're I think mostly maintenance focused guys, but they do a lot of
They do a lot of
veteran
like,
hiring.
yeah, they
They do a lot of cybersecurity now too. Though,
Well,
I
that's
believe,
a
right?
different. There's like 3 different branches out there at the local
okay.
Air National Guard base. But Red Horse, they do a lot of stuff where like if there's an emergency or like a natural disaster, they go in and help clean up stuff and a lot of like engineers and stuff. But like I know a few years back, Red Horse from our town went out and like built a new school in Guatemala, I think, or something like that, like that kind of thing.
Okay.
It sounds crazy, but kind of like Ethan. When I'm done with the Army, it might sound weird. I want to make like a clean break. I want to be active, like in the veteran community, but like having a direct tie to the Army still. I kind of just want to be done
Kind of
and
just want to
hang
wash
it
your
up.
hands. Yeah.
Yep,
That's-
That's like I went out and talked to the guys at Red Horse because one of my buddies, he actually worked out there. So I went out there to the base and stuff, and I just remember walking around their shop, and it's Air Force rank, so I'm not really too sure on the who's what rank. But this older guy walks by and he's like, "Hey Tim, what's up?" And they're talking to each other, calling each other by first names, joking around and stuff. He walks away, and I'm like, "What rank was that guy?" He's like, "Oh, that's an E7." I was like, "And what are you?" "I'm an E2." I'm like,
Oh, like calling him by his first name and stuff
yeah,
like that.
dude, that's unheard of. That does
Yeah.
not happen in the Army. Like, I was just joking around about it. I remember before we deployed, we were out in the field. I was at E3, and our Sergeant Major. I don't know, was Sergeant Major Ragusa around when you got there?
If he was just leaving, because then I think Sergeant Major Lowe showed up.
Yeah,
and
as Ragusa was one before Lowe, but Ragusa, dude, we were out in the field doing like night vision qual or something. I can't remember what exactly it was, but me and 2 other guys that were new dudes were over there talking, eating our MREs, and Sergeant Major Ragusa walks over. We hop up, locked up at parade rest, not moving our eyes, and he's like, "Calm down, little whoas, relax." And we're like, kind of lower our arms a little bit. He's like, "No, like relax, stop." So we were just standing there and he's talking to us. And the whole time he's talking to us, about 100 yards behind him is our platoon sergeant and 3 squad leaders just watching.
Just eyeballing you. Just
As soon as he walked away, he's like, "Oh, so you don't have to stand parade rest for the sergeant major?" "No." "Get down." "Oh, damned if I do, damned if I don't."
No, I've stayed in long enough to be on the other side of that. And 100% when I see somebody that I know who they are by like name and face, and they're talking to like my guys for apparently no reason, it's probably not good. And so I'm going to hear about it. And I've definitely been like the fly on the wall. Just do not embarrass me.
They're just hitting you. They're talking to him, but they're hitting you with the side eye. They can just feel you staring at them. They're just.
Yeah, because I don't even want to walk up and be a part of that conversation, you know? I don't have anything to say to you. I just want to know why you're talking to my guys. They have something to do that's more important right now. Bangs. That was my energy drink of choice. Now I'm talking 2 or 3 a day, 7 days a week for like 4 years. Yep. And then I woke up one day, it was like 6 in the morning.
Heart palpitations.
Yep. I took one little sip and then you can. And I'm like just sitting on the couch. I'm like,
You said, this is it? This is it?
I was like, today's the day. I'm like, I'm going to take a break.
Honey, call 911.
A couple hours went by. So it was like noon, you know, it's middle of the day, it was a weekend. Doing whatever. I won't waste anything. It could be an 18-inch piece of rope. It's in my garage still. So I just set it on the counter instead of dumping it out. So I grab it. I'm like, maybe it was a fluke. Took another drink. Same thing again. And I was like, okay. I'm like, this is a sign. And Heather had just stopped drinking caffeine for some medical stuff, some reasons. And I was like, oh, this makes sense, I guess. Like, cold turkeyed it. Didn't really have any withdrawals or anything, which I thought was insane.
Well, yeah, I think if I would just stop caffeine, I'm not saying withdrawals, but like I know I would have some nasty caffeine headaches.
See, for me, like, because like I'll drink it. Like, if we're on midnights, I'll drink one a day for 7 days. And usually when we get on our 4-day, I'll go 3 or 4 days without drinking one, and I'm usually pretty good. Like,
I do drink like that case over there. I think Katie maybe had those 2 cases over there. I think Katie maybe had like legitimately probably maybe 3.
nice.
And I think I'm on my 4th case in probably the last 4 months, and I try to
Break it up.
break it up.
Use some C4s in there.
There are some times where it's just but you know, the protein coffee with the protein drink mixed in and stuff. I mean, that's got caffeine in it and everything else. I don't know.
So with us talking about that, if you guys are interested in buying some Bulkhead Energy, swing on over to bulkhead.com or drink Bulkhead, whatever it is.
I think it's Bulkhead Energy.
Bulkhead Energy.
Yeah. Links are always down in the description.
Use the code RR10 to check out to get 10% off. And if you like what he's drinking there, that Bucked Up, I'm not sure what their discount code is, but higher caliber guys, they have a discount code for them now. So
yeah, they do. Yep, higher caliber definitely has their code for their affiliate with Bucked Up now. So
yeah,
shout out to them too. Yeah, I guess if you guys want to get,
I mean, what do you want to hear? I mean,
we try to break it up in about 20-minute increments just because it
makes sense probably for.
It's just for transferring purposes, but yeah. So about every 20 minutes, I'll get up and stop it, record, or whatever. I I told him, I said, I'm just gonna be over here like a fly on the wall, just yeah.
Well, I'll say
just some meat potatoes.
In 2 years, we did a lot of stupid stuff. I mean, whether it was going out to the desert and off-roading very stock vehicles that should have never been the places they went, getting stuck on a couple different occasions.
Speaking of, not to cut you off.
No, please.
And I don't know if you remember this night if we were out there together. I'm sure we were. I think 95% of the time we were out there together. Completely snapped off my rear axle except for the lower control arms.
You literally used my belt and your belt. So yes, I lost my belt that day.
Like belt?
Like yeah, we took our belts off. And so it was a 2004 Grand Cherokee, and it had like a wishbone mount for the top of the rear differential.
Because the unibody.
Yeah. And there was 3 bolts holding that on. Snapped all 3 of them off, probably.
And we're out in the middle of the desert, like
20 miles from the installation, at least.
At least.
Yeah. So we're driving back, and I'm literally doing this, just the whole Jeep's just swaying back.
And I'm willing to say that he was not sober either while this was going on.
Can neither confirm nor deny. And so I think we were a couple miles down the road. We pulled over, strapped.
No, it was before we left the desert.
Was it before
we were
we
laying
left
down
the
in the
desert?
sand? Down there, I was holding a flashlight, and you're using nylon riggers belts to try to hold the thing together.
And what time was it? 1 in the morning?
Oh, at least
2 in the morning.
I mean,
yeah, I came through. Remember coming through the gate to get on post. And I think they were just surprised
that you made it.
Yeah, how the vehicle was moving. I was like, yeah, I live, right around the corner. The next day, tried to move it, because I just pulled into the first spot, in the parking lot.
The whole
tried to
axle
move
rolled.
it. And then the whole axle like turned and basically was getting
I'm
snapped
assuming,
off.
I don't know if you said this is your personal vehicle though.
Yeah.
That's we didn't have like that's why like I got the side by side now, and I was just telling him this other day. It's like, man, it's like if we would have had a side by side back then, think about all the stupid crap we would have done. We'd gotten in so much trouble. We probably wouldn't be here. We'd probably be dead.
Have you?
Because I had a Hummer H3 Alpha, and he had his Jeep. His Jeep, it had what, like a 2-inch lift on it.
I think it was a 4-inch, but it's basically like spacers. It didn't do a whole lot.
So I mean, we're out there like I said, we were going over stuff and doing stuff we never should have in factory vehicles. Like, but we also weren't smart enough to be like, that's my daily driver. I need that.
I remember our buddy Jackson got an H3 because he really liked yours. And so naturally, what do you do when you buy a new 4x4? You go out to the desert. We're going down this trail with these like whoops on it, kind of like skiing or snowboarding, like what you'd have there. I'm riding with Ethan. I probably didn't have a seatbelt on, and that was my first mistake. But he's doing about 20 or 30 over these things, and we're maxing out front and back. I'm bouncing off the roof of his Hummer, and Jackson is behind him like probably just drove it off the lot. Like, absolutely not. Doing like 5 miles an hour. And we're like, whoa.
Well, do you remember that same day? There was that section where if you got off of I-10 and you started going back down into Red Sands, there was like that, I don't know, it was probably solid 8 miles, 10 miles off the road. Barely any cell phone service. So Jackson's following us, and we're like going up like this like cliff, like this like big mountain pretty much. And there's all kinds of like, but anyways, Jackson's behind us, and he's like, finally gets us to stop. He's like, I'm not doing this. And we're like, come on. Like, don't be a let's go. And Jackson, he was dead set he was not going to. So finally Ben was like, well, screw you. We don't need you anyways. So he turns around and leaves and goes home. By this time, it's like 1 or 2 in the morning. So we keep on going, and we get up over this like.
Did you guys ever sleep?
You wouldn't think so.
No, I mean, we were pretty much trained not to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, so we're going up this like thing, and then you come down, and there was like this like, I don't know how you'd say
like
it,
a berm or
like
something?
a valley almost like.
Kind of, yeah.
But I'm giving it pretty good gas. I got good tires on it. Not good enough because we got into some soft sand and buried it.
To the frame.
And there's no cell phone service. We got nobody with us. Normally it goes off-road with 2 people, so if you get stuck, there's a vehicle to pull you out. Yeah, Jackson left us. He abandoned us. So we ended up calling Kegley, who ended up coming. He was my buddy that came in a couple months back, and he drove his like factory Silverado out there. That was just 4-wheel drive. I don't think it was Z71.
I think he was pretty sketched out getting to where we were.
Well, he couldn't even get up to where we were. He tried. It's like, good on you, man. We appreciate it. But then one of our other buddies, DeTavio,
Yeah, Jack.
he had a what was it?
Like a 95 or 98
Toyota
lifted
Tacoma
like
with-
on 35.
that he never re-geared, so like had no balls at all. He somehow Billy goated that thing into where we were and put a strap on the Hummer, and we were able to get out
Just enough.
because we had to walk like 2 miles just to get cell phone service. We're up on top of this mountain. Hey,
Can
you help us?
I got a bar.
I'm pretty sure we didn't even really know where we were for sure.
No, you had to use your iPhone and drop a pin and
I
send
think I
it
even
to.
had to walk to the road to meet up with him just to
Might
get back
have.
Yeah. There was like those random mailboxes
Yeah,
that for a development that probably never got built. And I was like, hey, go to the mailboxes. I'll start walking there now.
What do you mean, man? You'll know what I'm talking about when you see them.
I mean, that's one of literally hundreds of stories. Like I remember the one time we were out there, we were following this group of guys in like Jeep Wranglers that were all lifted and had long travel suspension kits and like made for off-roading. So me and Ben are freaking. He's behind me. I'm in front of him. And I'm leading the whole pack. There's like 5 or 6 of them behind us. And eventually, by the time we get to there's this big sand dune that was like vertical. It was what I'm not trying to be over dramatic. 15 foot tall, 20 foot tall.
Yeah.
But it literally was just a flat run up and this huge sand dune. We had no clue it was on the other side. So by the time we get there, there's like 10 Jeeps that started with us. There's like 3. They're like, yeah, we're not doing this. You guys are nuts. So we get to this thing. I'm like, I don't know what's over on the other side, but send it, So I gun it, get going about 30, 40 miles an hour, get up to the top and literally headlights straight up in the air. It just comes slamming down. I'm like, oh, and it was flat on top. It's like, cool. So I turn around. Ben follows me, does the same thing in his Jeep. A couple of those Jeeps were trying to like crawl up. It's just loose, soft sand. They couldn't do it. So they had to back up and actually give it some gas. But so we get out, we're recording some of this. And mind you, we have no clue where we are in Red Sands. Not a clue. Where I mean, we were driving for 6 hours, 7 hours at that point in time, like off road, and like not a clue where we were. So Ben gets out and he's recording using his iPhone. He's like recording some of it. Fast forward, we get back to the barracks rooms and stuff, and then I'm getting ready to go, and Ben's like, I don't know where my cell phone is. I'm like, remember, because somebody had something, he turned his light on, I think, and like set it down in the sand to like see underneath the vehicle, and I'm like, did you leave it out there where we were jumping over that berm? He's like, oh no, I hope not. So the next morning we got up early as all get out because we didn't want the battery to die, and he used to find my iPhone. Yeah, we got somebody else with an iPhone. We went out there and found it somehow, but
More power to you, because I would have been like, well, I'm gonna hit Verizon tomorrow. Like, I don't think there was someone send me
it's
something.
kind of hard to do that when you're making $30,000 a year.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, that was the first time I believed in that. Like,
Yeah.
to find my iPhone or find my stuff. You know, I got on somebody else's phone and logged in, and it showed right where we had been, I guess, which there's no way we ever would have found that.
No,
that dude
hell
again.
no. Because that was the cool thing about out there. It was what? Correct me if I'm wrong. 50,000 square miles of public land.
Yeah.
Like it was an absolute, or 50,000 acres. It was something just ridiculous. Like a huge amount of land out in the middle of nowhere in the desert that you could literally do whatever you wanted. You go out there and hunt, go out there and shoot, off road, camp, hike. It didn't matter what it was. Like we don't have that around here. So
No.
it's like a foreign concept to people.
Yeah.
But literally you could go out there which we did. You go out there every single weekend for 2 years straight and never hit the same trail twice if you don't want to. But it was also it was awesome because like we'd get out there, we'd turn off I-10 and start hitting Red Sands, and I just remember like you'd have like right when you got into Red Sands where like cars could still make it and stuff, there'd be tons of people, campfire, big bonfires everywhere. It's like, all right, let's get to where not everybody can get to, so we keep on going further back and further back and further until eventually you just see a few little fires here and there. Like, all right, we're out of the way because people start getting drunk and start shooting in all directions and stuff. It was like, all right, let's get to a safe spot.
Just start ducking down.
You know, and everybody talks about how much they never want to go to Fort Bliss or they never want to go back. Truly, it's one of the unique places where, like you said, we'd go drive out there, and there were the certain spots, like the pit.
Yep.
There was like that shot up Volkswagen Bug.
Yep.
That was kind of like the distance range. You know, you had a couple 100 meters of flat up to this mountain you could shoot, and then there was like this cliff we would go hang out at sometimes. But if anybody was ever there, you just keep driving and go find somewhere else, and nobody bothers you. You know, you're just out there. And you can do whatever you
Well,
want.
especially too, not even just the land that you guys had to mess around on, but nowadays everyone's so worried about what other people are doing. So what are you guys doing out there? It's like, don't worry about what we're doing out here.
The cool thing was like El Paso, like I'm not a city guy. But the thing I do like about cities, I like going out to eat different places. Like I'm a foodie, I like trying different restaurants. So that was kind of the cool part about it is like you could literally drive around, what was it, the 5th biggest city in the country as far as size goes?
I think so. Well, it was right there on the border too, by Juarez.
Yeah.
So,
but you could literally drive around.
large city as well.
Yeah, a little more dangerous. I mean, UTEP faced Juarez, and it literally had the whole front of the building was bulletproof glass, bulletproof walls, everything, because all the stray rounds that would end up hitting UTEP. But it was cool, man, because like you could literally go out to eat, go to different bars, hang out, like do the whole city thing, and then you could drive 20 minutes outside of town on I-10.
Yep.
And you're literally in Red Sands where you can do whatever you want. So like it was like the guys that say that, they never left the barracks, they never left the city, they never went and explored, and like that's all we did. We'd go out to Waco Tanks, which was like 45 minutes out of El Paso. We used to go out there quite a bit. Freaking on the weekends, if we had a 3-day or 4-day, there was a place up in New Mexico called Cloudcroft, and there was a place called Cody's Cabins. They barely had running water. They were like the size of this room, but they were $40 for a weekend. So like literally, we'd drive up there, green grass, pine trees. It's like that little taste home. 11,000 feet above sea level, so you couldn't breathe. But like you get up there and literally walk up. We knew the guy. Hey, Cody, what's up, man? He's like, hey, you got any cabins for us? Yeah. Give him $40, give you a key, and
That wasn't even a town up there.
no,
it wasn't.
there's a ski resort like 10 miles away from it that you drive past. Remember that?
Yeah, I don't even remember because it had like a couple small shops, like a coffee shop or like a little convenience / antique store and salon, maybe. I don't know. But there wasn't even like a post office. You know, it literally was like the stuff you see in movies where you're like, yep, time to turn back.
Yeah.
But it was actually a beautiful place.
Dude, it
So
was
we always
awesome.
had a good time.
And we had more crazy stories up there. We spent Thanksgiving up there the one year. And Jack made it up there, and he had a Nissan Xterra. And we were off-roading somewhere around there. We left all the women folk back at the cabin, and they were hanging out, and we just went off and went driving. And remember we crossed this gate, and I remember looking at them like entering into, do not enter Indian reservation. It's like, whatever. They would hit the gate closed if they don't want us here. Well, I ended up getting stuck. Ben had to pull me out with his Jeep, and then later on, Jack Tadavio totaled his Xterra on the Indian reservation. We had to,
Allegedly.
oh no, he did.
Allegedly.
He smoked a tree, trying to follow me.
You know, being the professional off-roaders that we were, we always knew our limits and never pushed them. So,
And he's also a liar. That's
I was gonna say I don't know, especially with you still being it, but like, did you guys ever like get in trouble or like got caught doing or like?
well. Here, Ben will tell you. What was my nickname in the Army for you guys, for a little group of friends? Everybody used to call me it because I didn't drink and I was the responsible one. My nickname was Dad.
as I said, I think we just called you Dad.
Yeah, everybody called me Dad because it'd always be like they'd be drinking and doing stupid stuff and we'd come over like, "Hey, Dad, should we do this?" No, no, we're not doing that. Okay. Like
So
I
you were
remember
the clear-minded one.
Well, I was a sober one. Like I remember Christian one time because he was like, I'm
already know what you're gonna talk about.
I'm excluding last names here, but we're out in the pit, we're off road, and then we get shooting, and then after we get done shooting, they start drinking. You have to beep that out, probably. Actually, Christian, he was like, I don't know, 18. Like I know he wasn't 19 yet, so he's not allowed to drink. So somebody bought him a fifth of Jack Daniels. And I'm not over there. I'm over making sure some other drunk guys aren't shooting, the stuff they're not supposed to. I come back over and Ben and somebody else was there. And, I just see, once again, Christian, I see him doing this. And I'm like, so I go kind of like trotting over there, jog over there. And he downed a whole fifth of Jack in one go.
I seem to remember him saying he could do it. And we're like, yeah, right.
Well, and the thing,
And he like peels the label off and takes the cap off, and then Ethan, you probably overheard it.
yes.
And you turn around, Christian, don't do it. And he like does the little, like the.
So of course my head goes like, great, I've got to take him to the ER and get his stomach pumped, and then we're gonna have to do all kinds of paperwork because like at that point I'm a team leader. I'm like, gosh dang it. So he chugs this thing completely, like I'm all down. And that was the thing about Christian is he was a dude where it was funny because like anything you could be like, yeah, you won't do that.
So
And
he cracked under peer pressure very
like literally we'd be at like a restaurant. We'd be,
Not a lot of peer pressure.
We'd be at Village Inn eating breakfast or something, and their family behind us would be done eating and have some scraps on their plate, and Ben would look over and be like, hey, you're not going to turn around and ask them if they're done with their food and then take it and eat it all, will you? Don't make me do that. You won't.
He literally would say,
get up, walk
don't
over,
say
like,
I
hey,
won't.
are you guys done eating? Stag over the place and start eating fries or something.
Well, I always remember the pinky that we found out in the desert, the little like baby mouse
Yes.
or whatever.
Oh,
Okay,
dude.
I'm glad you clarified that.
Yeah, not like a pinky.
I thought you meant like a legitimate like a king.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what happened?
There's video of this somewhere floating around still, but
I'm sure.
there is.
So we find this baby mouse by chance in the desert, and it's gonna die. It's by itself.
I think I know where this is gonna go.
Yeah, I think me and Ethan, we like looked at each other and we like had the same thought at the same time.
Hey, Christian.
You won't eat this. Did you say I won't?
That's exactly what we said.
Yep. And I was like, we did. He's like, oh, all right. Never back down. Ever. Does not matter.
Kudos. But anyways, getting back to that. So he chugs this whole bottle of Jack. In my head, then it's like, gosh dang it. So mind you, he's like right out of basic training. He's a stud. He was always a PT stud. He's a good guy. Like, so I'm like, all right. I was like, run to that berm and back. It was like 200 meters. I'm like, run to that berm and back. We're going to make you throw up.
Trying to make him throw, yeah.
Sprints down there, sprints back. I'm like, come on, throw up. He's like, I can't. I'm like, all right, do it again. So he runs down there, made him run it like 4 or 5 times. So he comes back, he starts shoving his finger down his throat, and he's trying to get himself to throw up. And I'm like, grab him by his back and just punch him in the jejunum as hard as I could. Just starts projectile vomiting. I'm like, oh, thank goodness.
You
remember that though?
Absolutely.
Gosh, dang it. And I remember the first time we got shot at.
Well, yeah, that's what I thought you were where you were going. Yeah. Was did you ever get in trouble? And I was like, well, there's this one time.
You can go ahead and tell this one.
Yeah, so the pit, our normal like shooting spot, you can almost shoot like 360 degrees around it.
Not almost, you could.
Yeah, because there's just that trail that came down in.
Almost like a quarry, like zigzagged down into it. So like it was vertical, without being dramatic, 30 foot, 60 foot,
30,
huge walls all the way around. But
when you're down in there, like if you didn't pull over and get out and look down in there, you'd never know anybody was down there. So it was the three of us. Jackson was there.
It was you, me, Christian, and Two-Tron.
Okay.
It was us four.
Yeah,
so that was before Jackson got down there.
Did you say Patron?
I can't remember his first name. So once again, bleep that out. So, but yeah.
Yep, so we were down in there, and we were just getting set up, when we were going to do some shooting. And then all of a sudden, we heard ricochets.
When we saw dust kicking up, like just on the other side of the vehicles, and then you start hearing snaps.
We're like, what the heck? And we start yelling, and they don't hear us. They're up over the top. And
so Christian and their beers that somebody had bought them, I'm not going to say who, and crawl underneath my Hummer and are huddled underneath there. And I'm like, screw this. I grab my AR-15, throw a magnet, rack it, and take off running up that hill. And get up there, and there's a S10 full of local indige kids, just shooting over the berm at at what are they? Birdies?
Yeah, like clay pigeons.
Clay pigeons that didn't break or stuff. Yeah. They're just up there shooting at those. Didn't think to look down and be like, oh, there's people down there. So I run up there. I pull up my arm, like, hey, stop shooting now. Get on the ground. Yelling at them. They're like, oh, like flipping out. Ben comes flying up in his Jeep, pulls his Jeep in front of me, block me from because I was gonna lose it because gun safety is a big thing, But Ben gets out, he's like, hey man, he's kind of crazy. You guys probably should just leave.
Yeah, I was like, this is probably in everybody's best interest if you guys get out of here. I'm like, okay. I think it was just some high school kids.
Yeah, that's
with a 22.
No, it was a 30-30 lever.
Was it 30-30?
Yep.
Yeah. Something, and they were excited to leave. Okay. We'll go.
I didn't want to be here anyway. I don't want to come here. But so I'm going to ask you just to get another story because I want to hear this one. Do you like McNuggets?
I've been known to eat them from time to time.
Yeah.
I think they only come in quantities of 100.
That's I want to know your point of view on this story. The entire story.
He might not remember much of it. There's a reason why I was a DD. He wasn't driving.
I think there was one of two. There was three things you did with them. You ate them, you threw them out the window, or you threw them at the guy in the back seat, or some combination
or
of all
three at one time. Yeah.
Until you find something else, you're gonna eject
just to give you guys
window.
a little bit of backstory on this. So Jackson, I'm saying this, I was colorblind. I shouldn't have been in the infantry, but I got a waiver. I don't know how he was in the Army. Period. He had Tourette's. And we used to make fun of him for it, but we love you, dude. If you're watching this, it was all in good jest, mostly. So he was always loud, and of course when he would drink, it got way worse. He'd just be stomping his foot and stuff, and we're like, how did you make it through basic? Because you have to stand parade rest or attention for hours sometimes, if they're pissed off at you. But anywho, so we were a little bit, and a little bit closed at 2:00. That's when all the bars closed down there. And Ben and Jackson had been, they've been drinking.
Time went on, as it's been called.
Yeah.
So we're
Partaking in
Ben's Jeep. We pull out, and we used to always stop at Village Inn, but it was the weekend before that we could no longer go to Village Inn because a whole group of us stopped there, and we were sitting down at a long table eating like that. We all ordered a bunch of food, and Jackson ordered 3 meals, and we're like, bro, you don't need that. So he sits there, they sit down at his place, he just starts eating them. He eats them so fast he throws up all over the table. It's running down the ends of the table. I literally just got up, grabbed my plate, and walked to another booth and just sat there. The waitress is like, oh no. I'm like, yeah, I don't know who those guys are. I just kept on eating. So we couldn't go back to Village Inn because that was literally like the weekend or 2 weekends before that.
Like you couldn't go back just morally
out
or
of
like
embarrassment.
Yeah, okay.
Just-
I didn't know if you guys got like kicked out or
Because I
something.
mean, he had just eaten 3 full meals and threw it all up with all the booze he had been drinking that night. Like it was so gross. Do you remember that?
Sorry doesn't cut it for some of this stuff.
Like brother, like you got to come back tomorrow and clean this up. Like this is not right. So we couldn't really go back there. So we pull out, and right next to that Village Inn on the same exit, there was a McDonald's. So mind you, Jackson had been drinking a little bit, so he's kind of loud. So I'll let you. I don't know what was going through your mind. I don't know if we've actually ever even really talked about this one.
Well, yeah, I remember we get up to the, to where you order the box right there. And I think I said I wanted 1,000 nuggets.
No. That wasn't you. That was
That's
Jackson
Jackson?
screaming from the backseat, I want 100 McNuggets. I'm like, shut up. He keeps on rolling down his window, hang out, 100 McNuggets, just screaming at him. I'm like, shut the hell. So I roll up his window, hit the child safety lock. He's still screaming. I'm like, so Ben, what do you want? He's like, yeah, I want 2 McChickens, a McDouble, and a thing of fries. I'm like, all right. Like, so I got the same thing for me. And I'm like, can I get a 2 20-piece McNuggets? And Jackson, you literally see him in the rear view. He's like, that's not 100. Just losing his cool. So anyways, pull up the next window, get our food. I start handing food over to Ben, just bags of food. We pull back out, get on I-10. I don't know what was going through his mind when this started happening, but Jackson's reaching over trying to grab these nuggets out of Ben's hands. Ben opens up one of them and just starts pelting them with nuggets, like hitting him in the face, hitting him in the stomach, just Jackson's flipping out, losing it, trying to pick him up off the ground and eat them. Mind you, all of our vehicles off-road all the time, dirty as crap, sand all over the place.
Just crunchy McNuggets.
Dude. So we're driving down I-10 and I just see Ben, he rolls down his window. And mind you, it's 85-mile-an-hour speed limit down there on I-10. So we're going 90 at least, like just cruising down the highway. Nobody else on the road. It's past 2 o'clock in the morning. And Jackson's still reaching over trying to grab food. So Ben just takes a thing of nuggets. He eats them out of the window. Jackson starts flipping out, trying to like punch him. Ben looks at me, throws another thing of nuggets out. I reach over and grab a sandwich and grab like a handful of fries. And then he just eventually, all the food's out the window. Nobody got to eat anything except for me. Because Ben took, I remember him opening up a McChicken, eating as much as he could. So we're driving down I-10. There's just a whole slew of fast food, down the median. And then this is the part where I don't know if you 100% remember.
Well, I remember you telling me about it.
You threw your wallet out the window next.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we got to get on first. So I stop his Jeep, put on the flashers. You got 2 stumbling drunk guys out there looking around for a wallet. I'm out there with my EDC flashlight, like, freaking cop pulls up, Stady, or I think it was El Paso PD or Stady, I can't remember, pulls up and he's like, what's going on? I was like, yeah, we're just looking for a wallet. He's like, you had anything to drink tonight? I was like, no. I was like, they have though. He's like, what are you looking for? I was like, his wallet. It fell out the vehicle. He was like,
How did it fall?
he's like, well, he didn't even ask. He's like, all right, find that and get him back on post. He's like, Roger, we'll do. So he drove off. Finally found Ben's wallet. And we freaking get back on post.
Was it that?
It was that night that
the phone
your
thing.
cell phone.
But I'm saying, didn't you say like when you were telling me he looked at you like menacingly, like with his wallet? Like he
literally held up. He looks at me. I'm like, no.
I say you kind of glazed over that.
Yeah, I was like,
I ran out of stuff to throw, and then I think my wallet was sitting there, like in the cubby, and I pick it up. And it's like, Ben, no.
no, huh?
Well, the funny part is he throws his wallet. I'm already starting to stop, but he grabs his cell phone and gives me the same look. I reach over and start fighting him, rip his cell phone out of his hands, which that didn't help his cell phone at all because later on he broke it anyways. That was the night you kicked it into the brick wall at the barracks.
Hey, good thing you went six hours out in the sand and found it. We had it for an extra month or whatever.
Because, we finally get back to the barracks building. I want to make sure these guys get in okay. Ben's got his phone looking at it, and he's walking over the gravel section, and he drops it. And he picks it up. He's like, oh, the screen's broken. He goes like this, and he drops it again. And he looks down, and he looks at me, and just boots it, kicks it. It hits the brick wall, just screen pops off, just cable, cords and stuff holding it together. I'm like, so I get him inside, go in there. I open up his knife drawer. Behind the knives, I set his cell phone down, close it, make sure he gets in his bed, into his room and laid down. And I'm like, I'll come back in the morning and tell him what happened to his cell phone. So I get back there. I'm knocking on the door. Ben's like, hey, man. He's like, have you seen my cell phone? I'm like, you don't remember last night? He's like, no, not at all. I'm like, check your knife drawer. He opens it up. Who broke my cell phone? Flipping out. Mind you, first he walked over to the fridge and grabbed out a PBR and was drinking that. He's like, who broke my cell phone?
So you were drinking high class stuff. Yeah.
Guinness High Life or PBR.
Yep. Whatever was in my hand was usually the right beer.
Steak in a can is what it was. Whatever's in my hand was the right beer.
That's and you might not get this, Logan, but for any of the people that were in the Army or the infantry that are out now, there's usually a lot of stories about infantry privates being wild and doing a lot of stupid things.
They're all true.
They're all true. Yeah.
100%.
And then, like saying, I don't miss those days. It's probably because I had my fun, and now I'm like, I can look back and be like, how did I even survive?
Yeah.
I was saying, thanks, Dad.
Me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I was laughing. But yeah, no, it's
Yeah, he told me that story, like 2 weeks ago or something. He's like, when he's on the podcast, he's like, ask him if he likes McNuggets. And I was like, all right, I will.
I still like McNuggets. I don't throw them as much. But
This time, they're a lot more expensive, and I eat them now.
yes. Maybe I'll get them for my kids, and I know they won't eat them all.
but just talking to
You
that,
won't.
there's a whole group of us because like I was kind of the ringleader because like I tend to think that if I wasn't in the barracks room, like, come on, let's go, guys, load up. They were just not done as much stuff because I was pretty persistent. I'm like, dude, I'm not wasting my time just sitting around doing nothing. Let's go do stuff. So I remember the one day it was Jackson, Christian. It might have been Andrew too. I can't remember because it was a full vehicle. We drove my Hummer out to Waco Tanks, stopped at a gas station, and like it's 45 minutes outside of El Paso. So the last gas station, that's it. So we stopped there, got Gatorades and energy drinks and whatever else, loaded up, we had a cooler, we put it all in. So we go out there and we're hiking all day at Waco Tanks. It's a really beautiful place. And there's this really long road coming out of Waco Tanks leading up to I-10. So we're done hiking. I think each one of us took one of those big 64-ounce Gatorades with us when we were hiking. We all downed those. It was 110, 120 degrees out, in the direct sunlight in El Paso. So we're all dehydrated still after drinking a half gallon of Gatorade. So we get to the Jeep or get to my Hummer, and there was like one Gatorade left in the cooler. Do you remember this one?
I'm still scarred from this. I've never recovered.
So we're driving down the road and I'm drinking this Gatorade. And mind you, this is after the McNugget situation. This is after all that. So like this is all like,
Still fresh in the mind.
Yeah. So we're driving down and, it's hot. The air conditioner had started working, started kicking in yet. So I got all the windows down. And Ben's like, I opened this drink and I'm drinking it. I'm like, it's like, I paid for it. I'm drinking it. Ben's like, give me some of that. I'm like, give me a second. All right. So I keep on drinking it. I start chugging it. He's like, give me some. I start reaching over, trying to snag in my hands. I was like, so my dead homies drink before you. So I got out the window and just dumped out our only liquid we had for the next 45 minutes. Ben's trying to fight me over me to get it the whole time. I'm like,
every water fountain that they had at the park we were at was all out of order. So I spent like a good 30 minutes to an hour before this, like
thirsty,
trying to seek out water. And if you've never been thirsty,
Seek out water.
Hey, it's real. I can go without food, but if you've ever been so thirsty that it's what you crave and you don't have any, it's like torture. And then it's like, oh, this Gatorade? Dumps it out. And it's like you just accept defeat. It's like
You
when
just sit back in your seat, you're like, just put your head down for the next half hour.
it's like when you look at your kids, like, you want some ice cream? Oh yeah, not too bad.
oh shoot!
Did I deserve it? Probably. Can't confirm. I probably.
That's what you get for throwing the McNuggets, I guess. Is that what it was?
Definitely.
Gosh dang it! So yeah, let's go ahead and rewind a little bit. How did we first meet Ben? Because at this point in time, I'd been deployed. I didn't really care about new guys. I'd see him come into the unit. I'm like, screw you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to be friends with you. Like, I was just kind of
one of those things you're not going to learn their name because you ain't going to remember them or they're going to be gone.
Well, and that's the
anyway.
crazy part is you say that like most guys I can only remember their last names unless you were buddies. You didn't know their first names.
Yep.
But anyways, I see this new guy come in. I'm like. Yeah, I was like, screw him. He's like, oh, honor guard. Ooh, look at me. Like, 'cause that's what he did. That's what you did in Korea.
Yep.
You were honor guard.
What's that?
So it's
You like a Tomb of the Unknown Soldier?
yeah. So the old guard is up in like Arlington, and they do all the ceremonies up there in DC.
Yeah.
When I was in Korea, I was a part of 8th Army, and they have a United Nations command. So there were Thai, Filipino, U.S., and then Republic of Korea soldiers. We all worked together and we did ceremonies there. And there were some buildings we pulled guard on and stuff. We were just more of a...
Didn't you retrieve also a couple bodies that had floated, or return a couple North Korean soldiers that had floated down the river, their bodies?
Yeah, we repatriated them back to North Korea. There was one time...
Because then you like almost crossed the DMZ, or you accidentally did?
Yeah,
or...
we went right to the line and handed them back. So that we did a lot of ceremonies. So in the 15 months I was there, I did 63 or 65 ceremonies, which is astronomical.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So anyway, a lot of new guys that come into the Army, I came from a different duty station. I came from Korea instead of just basic training. So it's not common, or it wasn't back then. Yeah. Especially when you're young guys, you're like, oh, whatever. So you get it. The new guy is usually just dumb and doesn't know anything. And I came from somewhere else. So
where you had a little bit of...
And I knew
a little bit of
I think you came in as an E4. So I don't think you were like...
yeah, when I got there, I was already a specialist.
Yeah. So it was like, I knew he'd been in, but still I was just like, yeah, screw you. I don't want to...
Yeah. And I think I'd been there a couple weeks at this point, because you were pretty stoic.
Yeah, I didn't really talk to him.
And I know there was a couple guys you would joke around with, and if anybody else walked up, it was like, cut the volume, stop talking, stare at you, and wait for you to walk away, and then they start talking again. So I was like, oh, okay, whatever,
And his locker was like in our company area was like two. Is it right next to mine or two?
I think it was a couple down.
A couple down. Okay.
So I ended up coming to the same platoon. So we're in the same group of 30 guys. And we're changing for PT one day. So it's 5:45, 6 in the morning. And I had this V-cut shirt on. And I probably hadn't even spoken words yet. And he looks at me and he's like, tell me that's not the upper right-hand corner of Ohio tattooed on your chest. And so, again, I don't know him, right? I'm like, okay, it's not. Okay. It left it at that. No other words. Just
then the ice was broken. But
we kind of figured out. Hey, we're both from Ohio, similar interests, same things. Months probably go by.
At least because we were out doing some training out of McGregor, I think.
Yeah,
you have to see each other when you're walking around.
No, we're hanging out. Though, at this point in time, we're buddies. We're hanging out.
Oh, okay,
but we're getting ready to take the showers in the big old imagine gymnasium showers. Like from high school on steroids. They're 3 times the size of that, just shower heads all over the place. You all walking there butt naked and shower and shit.
That's hot.
So anyways.
Yeah, so we're out there and we're heading to the showers. I think we're changing and getting in, and he dead-eyed looked at me.
You lying son of a bitch.
He lied. And I was like, what are you talking about? You said that wasn't the upper right-hand corner of Ohio tattooed on your chest. I was like, you told me to tell you it wasn't. So I did.
You're welcome.
It's like, why would you lie? I was like, you told me to tell you. I'm like, oh.
Okay.
I never even thought about it again. I was like, all right, it's not. Whatever. Don't kill me.
Shit. But no, it was a fun time because with our unit down there, me and Ben were both team leaders at the same time, and we were actually in the same squad for quite a while. And dude, we used to have, even at work, we used to have a lot of fun because we started getting some guys that were like our Joes, our guys underneath us. We'd hang out with them outside of work, and it was, it's kind of a crazy thing, but the whole hanging out with your subordinates thing, it's trying to dance that fine line of knowing your guys and being friends with them, then at work,
still being professional,
trying to change it up, to be back to being professional. But we used to have some fun during PT and stuff. Do you remember we went out and played football in the desert?
Oh yeah,
dude.
We run it because we'd run under the overpass, right?
Yeah.
For the 375, I think.
Yeah.
Whatever that highway is, that
cut over top
around.
of Biggs.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so you're running out there straight into the sun. I mean, it's 6 in the morning. It's probably already 80 degrees, 75, 80 degrees.
So we go running by the barracks room because Esteban, our platoon sergeant, he told us hey, somebody take their room card. We're like, okay. So one of the guys living in the barracks grabbed their room card. So we go in formation, run past the barracks. He's like, go get your football. Okay. So whoever it was runs over, clocks into the barrack, keys their key room, goes in, gets a football. Anyways, you weren't allowed to play football for PT because people would get hurt or whatever. Which I mean, it's justified.
That's everywhere almost still. Yeah. No sports during PT.
Because when I first got in, we used to play basketball, frisbee football,
ultimate
frisbee. Yeah. We used to play all kinds of stuff. But anyways. So we go running out there, and
Played football, right? I don't know.
we started playing like 2-hand tap.
Well, I feel like that's how it always starts when you get a bunch of guys together.
And then one guy goes a little bit too hard, and then the next guy's like, "Oh, okay."
Well, no, the problem was is that me and Ben were both like the bigger guys in the platoon. Like, and we were, I'm not trying to sound cocky, but we were two of probably only 2 guys that actually like were
Played
athletic,
sports
like
or
played
something, yeah.
sports. And there were some other guys, but like you get 2 kinds of guys in the infantry. You get the guys that played sports and just weren't good enough to make it in college. And then you have the guys that were made fun of in high school and they want to be badasses at their 10-year reunion. We were the first. We were the guys that just weren't good enough. You know what I mean? And probably not smart enough either. So we're out there. We've got a bunch of dudes that have never even caught a football before, probably. So our platoon sergeant, Esteban, he's standing back watching this with one of the other squad leaders, I think. I can't remember who it was. And so Ben has the football. I run up and just tap him. And we look over at our platoon sergeant. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I got him." He's like, "He's on the ground." I'm like, so then it turned into full-blown tackle, just smear the style, just no pads, no helmets, just beating the shit out of each other for an hour out in the middle of the desert. But
Our platoon sergeant, it's really dark, like brown eyes, kind of like similar to yours.
Thank you.
Dead inside.
Thank you. So very similar to me.
He would sit there and he would look at you and it would be empty, like almost terrifying. It was terrifying.
he was a super good guy, though. Like, he was, out of all the platoon sergeants I had, he was in the top 2. He was really a good dude.
I talked to him a couple times in the past year. Even
I mean, he hated me when I got out, but he didn't like anybody that got out.
he didn't like much of us that stayed in either.
But he was. I learned a lot from him. When he was my squad leader before he was a platoon sergeant, I learned a lot from him as far as just life stuff. Like before I got married, I remember talking to him out at NTC for hours about it. He was a good guy. Like, in saying that, like he was kind of.
He's retired now, but
Dead inside.
he spent his whole career on track vehicles, right? So on Bradleys, where I've been. On Bradleys, I've been in Humvees. I've jumped out of planes and all this stuff. So I've been a little bit everywhere. And I was going to an armor unit, so a Bradley unit out at Fort Riley. And all I can think about was like, man, my platoon sergeant at Fort Bliss knew everything back then. And since then, I kept it up with him and saw everything else he'd done. So I reached out to him. I said, "Hey, I need help. I'm like, I know how to do the job." I was like, "But I don't have the experience that you have. What do I need to know that I probably am overthinking?" Great guy, got back to me right away, and gave me some good advice. And then I've talked to him a couple times since then too, just kind of kept in touch. So yeah, great guy. Definitely knew a lot.
Yeah, there was some equipment that went missing right when I got out, and he tried to blame me for it. So
Some field loss.
I don't know. I mean, there might have been something unsecured that it might have made it in my bag. I don't remember.
I don't know how that
So
got
many
in
years
there.
ago.
But I mean, but after talking to Kegley, I guess he was the same way with Kegley. Like, he wouldn't send him his, like, you get that certificate for like honorably discharged, from this unit, blah, blah, blah. Our platoon sergeant's supposed to send them out to us. Yeah, we never got any of ours. He just threw them away.
They even, when I had PCS, so when I went to Fort Bragg, they called me about some equipment. "Hey, we're missing this. You still have it?" I said, "No." I was like, "You have to go around and clear. So you have to go turn in all the equipment you have.
At
You have
CIF
to
and
sign your papers and they stamp them. And it's, this whole process. It's
Like
terrible.
equipment, as in like tools and stuff.
stuff
or
issued
It could be
plates, body
Oh,
armor.
okay. So just
everything.
gas masks.
just okay. So
all
just
that
gear
stuff.
in general.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and they called me about some equipment that I'd turned in that they're like, "Hey, we have a hand receipt," which, piece of paper that I signed saying I had all that stuff. And like, "We have a hand receipt saying that you still have this." I was like, "Well, I cleared. I turned all my stuff in and they signed my papers. Well, we're going to need you to mail that to us, or we're going to do a statement of charges and make you pay for it." And I'd already been gone like 6 months, I think.
Yeah.
And I was like, "All right, good luck." I'm not even in the unit anymore. Like, "Hey, I don't even know how that works." I'm like, "But okay." I'm like, I'll let my new boss know. And I was like, "Hey, my old unit's trying to tell me they're going to make me pay for stuff." He's like, "Well, didn't you clear?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, don't worry about it." Okay. He's like, "Hey, get back to work." Yeah, Roger.
Roger that.
That's. Would anything ever come about that? No.
I've never heard anything.
No.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of threats that was getting made, but there's a lot of paperwork you got to do to back up those threats. So usually it just didn't get done.